let's talk about the more exciting news. So this news dropped last week. I missed it because I was busy, but we have a new creative team for Batman. So I want to say about a month or two ago, we were throwing around a bunch of ideas on who the next writer for Batman would be. Looks like we missed the mark because none of us threw Matt Fraction's name in the mix. So Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez are going to be the new creative team on Batman starting in September. When I first heard this news, I was excited. I have personal history with Matt Fraction. Fraction's X-Men Dark Avengers Utopia was the first comic book that I ever bought as a grown-up, and it's the first comic book event that I checked out. And it's still one of my favorites. I read it recently. It holds up well. So, but I haven't really checked out much Matt Fraction stuff after that. That's not on purpose. That's just the way life was. I don't think he did any of the DC stuff when I started getting into comics, or much of Marvel stuff either. I think he did that Hawkeye joint that I read one issue of, but I never followed up with. But to see him come back, he's a pretty big name. To see him come back on Batman, that's really dope. That's really cool. And Jorge Jimenez at this point, he's just a mainstay. Jorge Jimenez on Batman is just like peanut butter and jelly. It fucking works. So initially, I was like, yeah, woo, yeah, I was to the fucking moon. But then I remembered the other times where I got excited about a new creative team on Batman, only for it to go to shit about a year or so later. I am cautiously excited for Matt Fraction on Batman. We don't really have too much details on what this run is gonna be like, but what I'm hoping for, it's something that is engaging, it's something that's fresh, it's something that's new, and it's something that hopefully is consistent, because over the past couple of years we all get excited about a new creative team on Batman, and it just doesn't work out. And 9 out of 10 times it's because of some editorial mingling, and then we just stop giving a shit after a while. So I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna be fair and give this a good couple issues, but I'm also ready to jump ship the moment I see some fuckery abound. At this point, that's the relationship I have with Batman. For me, Detective Comics right now is still the superior book. Say what you want about Tom Taylor, these last couple of issues have been pretty good. It's nothing stellar, it's nothing amazing, it's nothing like Ram V's, but it's a good, solid detective story. And I think Detective is always the more consistent book. They let creatives cook a little bit more, but I kind of understand why DC treats the main Batman book the way it is. There's a lot of IP around Batman. They got movies, they got merchandise, they're very protective of their baby, which is Batman. With that said, you being too protective of Batman is why people just stop giving a shit about the main book after a while. So I personally want to live in a world where this Matt Fraction run is good. I could also read Detective Comics from Tom Taylor, and I can also read the other Batman books and still feel, that connective tissue, but I'm feeling like also, hey, all these books are of quality. So I'm going to keep an open mind. We'll see what happens. I do want to put a button on my thoughts on Chip Zdarsky's Batman run. Chip Zdarsky's Batman is over, and I know me and AJ had spoke about, our thoughts on the run, and per usual, I was excited at first. But then, once Gotham War came around, they lost me. I think I unsubscribed right after Gotham War. So I was like, you know what? Let me just let him do his thing. And apparently the book didn't get that much better. It's very hit or miss, according to what I'm hearing in the streets. He said a whole lot of nothing on that book. A whole lot of nothing. I still think that it's not going to read well in trade or omnibus, whatever the fuck they decide to do, because there's no narrative there. You can't follow it as a through line because you have events and then you have all this other random shit that got thrown in. It seems like Chip was just there to hold people over until they got the next writer, which is Matt Fraction. So No disrespect to Chip, best of luck. Yeah, I'm ready for something new. I always say on here, but the last consistent Batman book was Tom King's run. Love it or hate it, I know there was some issues with that as well, but still, it's a run that you can read front to back despite its issues, and you get a story. You get a beginning, you get a middle, and whether or not you like the end or not, there is an end, and it flows. Ever since then, I'm sorry, DC has just been all over the fucking place with Batman.